Hi, I'm Jennifer Schramm, and welcome to day 19 of this 40-day program based on A Course in Miracles. Undoing fear and remembering love. Today's idea from the Course in Miracles is fear is not justified in any form. Fear is not justified in any form. This doesn't mean that we won't feel fear. It simply means that the fear that rises in us is never the truth in us or the truth of us. And we're not asked to get rid of it. We're just asked to hand it over, handing over our fear to the Holy Spirit. So for example, this is a real life example for myself and what I've been moving through lately. So for the last, probably 20 years or 15 years, I've wanted to put myself out there online more. I've taken courses, I've hired coaches, I've done all kinds of things, but I've always stopped. Fear has stopped me in my tracks. I wanted to make videos, to write, to create programs, and to share my voice in a bigger way. But every time I leaned towards it, like I said, fear would get me, and I would quit, and I would stop, and I would project, and I would make the coaches wrong, and the programs wrong, and the economy wrong, whatever it was. That fear got so aggressive and so loud. It would say things to me like, who do you think you are? You're not good enough. You're going to fail anyways. Don't even try. Why bother? There's so many people that have a better voice than you out there. You don't know technology. You're not creative enough. And dare I go on and on and on. And this kind of fear was so crippling. It was so loud that I just stopped. I stopped in my tracks and that was it. And now that I'm doing it, now that I'm actually recording the videos, creating the program, and showing up like as best I can, the ego keeps pulling out every trick. Every day I want to quit. Well, not every day, but a lot of times I don't want to quit. It just doesn't stop. It just actually starts getting even louder because I'm working towards something meaningful. And it's not because it's true, but it's because it senses expansion. And the fear is simply the ego trying to protect an old identity that I had, an identity that I'm no longer serving me. And this is where handing over this fear becomes absolutely essential because my mind created this fear the way it was, and I can't do this alone. So handing over the fear doesn't mean we don't stop feeling it. Doesn't mean that voice isn't still there. It means that we just stop carrying it and we ask for help. And we ask the Holy Spirit for help. So even, just pausing for a moment and saying, this fear feels so big, I don't know what to do with it. It's trying to stop me, but it's not the truth of me. I'm willing to hand this over. I'm willing to hand this over to the Holy Spirit. And I don't have to understand the fear. I don't have to fix it. I don't have to analyze or make it disappear, even though my mind tells me that's what I have to do most of the time. But handing it over is just enough. Not getting into all those stories, just noticing the fear arising. Okay, I'm going to hand that over. And even if you still the emotion, even if you still feel it, even if it's really loud, and even if it doesn't vanish instantly, as I practice handing it over, I'm saying, I'm not going to face this alone. I'm going to ask the Holy Spirit for help because this mind cannot change it. I need help. So the Course says, fear is not justified in any form. It simply means that fear is always a misunderstanding. It's a moment of forgetting who we truly are. And it's a moment where our ego is trying to interpret our worth. And the Holy Spirit's job here, because the ego is working really hard when we're in fear, is to bring the voice of love within us to correct this misunderstanding, to correct the misunderstanding of the fear or the loud ego voice. And we're not meant to do it alone. We're meant to actually ask for support. So today, your practice or our practice is when fear shows up, and it might be self-doubt, worry, pressure, comparison, a familiar old story. When it shows up and when it does, we're all going to just pause and say, I hand this over. I hand this fear over. Please take it from me. I don't know what to do with it. And even if the fear is still there, even if your mind keeps talking, hand it over anyways. It's the willingness that opens the door. It's the willingness that creates the softening. Even if it's just a tiny little bit, let that be enough. I'll see you tomorrow. And again, thanks for being here today.